Sekarang kami bawakan anda siaran langsung dari Ibu Pejabat ITE dan College Central di mana Perdana Menteri Lee Hsien Loong akan menyampaikan ucapan rapat Hari Kebangsaan. Encik Lee akan berucap dalam bahasa Melayu diikuti bahasa Mandarin. Ucapan dalam bahasa Inggeris akan beliau sampaikan pada pukul 8 malam.
ITE தலைமையகம் காலேஜ் சென்ட்ரலிலிருந்து பிரதமர் திரு லீ சியன் லூங் ஆற்றும் தேசிய தின கூட்ட உரையின் நேரடி ஒளிபரப்பை இப்போது காணலாம். திரு லீ முதலில் மலாய், மேண்டரின் மொழிகளில் பேசுவார். ஆங்கில உரையை இரவு 8 மணிக்கு தொடங்குவார்.
我们现在带您到公益教育学院总部兼中区学院。今晚，李显龙总理将发表他的国庆群众大会演讲。李总理首先将以马来语和华语发言，他也将在8点整发表英语演讲。
We are now bringing you a live telecast from ITE headquarters and College Central, where the Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, will be delivering his National Day rally speech. Mr. Lee will be speaking in Malay, followed by Mandarin. His English speech will be delivered at 8 p.m.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Prime Minister.
A very good evening to all of you. Welcome to ITE headquarters and College Central. It's a beautiful campus, energetic students, passionate lecturers, a splendid place for my National Day rally. They've been very great hosts to me, and I should start by saying thank you very much, ITE. Now let me begin business as usual, starting in Malay. Selamat Hari Kebangsaan dan Selamat Hari
Happy
Raya
National Day and Selamat Hari Raya Aidil Fitri. Ladies and gentlemen, I visited An-Nur Mosque for breaking of fast event during Ramadan. It had just been upgraded and expanded. I was happy to see the beautiful result. I was also heartened by the passion and enthusiasm of the committee members and volunteers. They raised funds, engaged residents, and helped the needy. This is the gotong royong spirit which we have in Singapore, and I would like to see this grow over time. An-Nur Mosque's development reflects the good progress of the mosque upgrading and building programs. In the next few years, 3 new mosques will be built in Woodlands, Jurong West, and Punggol. This is the mosque which will be built in Punggol. This means there will be 18,000 additional prayer spaces come 2016. This is good news for Muslims. As we build our new city, we are also maintaining our heritage and culture. The Malay Heritage Centre reopened last September. It has become more popular. More Malay cultural performances are held there. I also spoke about Wisma Geylang Serai last year. Its design has just been chosen. I look forward to seeing the beautiful design translated into reality. I am confident you are excited as well. Over the past year, Singaporeans have discussed our shared future in our Singapore Conversations, or OSC. Malays have participated actively in this national effort. Besides the OSC, the Malay community also held the Suara Musyawara, which focused more on issues specific to the community's socio-economic needs. But broadly, Malay Singaporeans share the concerns of other Singaporeans in 5 areas or 5 Ps:
penjagaan
housing,
kesihatan,
healthcare,
pendidikan,
education,
pekerjaan,
jobs,
dan peluang.
and opportunities. That is the 5 Ps.
Ini mencerminkan betapa sepadu
This reflects how integrated our society is.
Singapura kini berada di satu titik
Singapore is at a turning point.
dalam dunia yang sedang berubah.
In a changing world, we want Singapore to still be a shining red dot.
Bersinar-sinar. Setiap kita ada peluang untuk maju.
All should have the opportunities to do well and rise in schools and in life.
Anda semua jangan bimbang
You should not worry
soal penjagaan
about
kesihatan
healthcare
atau hari tua.
or old age.
Janganlah bimbang tentang
You should not worry about housing too.
Setiap orang boleh miliki rumah sendiri.
Everyone can have a home that is within
Kita
our
perlu ada
means.
semangat kekitaan di sini.
We should all feel a sense of ownership and belonging here. Singapore is ours, not only to own, but to build on and be proud of.
Kita boleh lakukannya.
We can do this together.
Untuk capai matlamat ini,
To achieve
kita
this,
perlu mengubah beberapa dasar.
we need to
di
make
atas
some basic
pendekatan
shifts
kita.
in our approach.
Negara perlu kukuhkan jaringan
The state
keselamatan
has to
sosial
strengthen our
dan
social
pupuk
safety
peluang-peluang
nets
lebih adil dan
and
menguntungkan
foster fairer opportunities and rewards for all
sebagai
Singaporeans.
sebuah masyarakat. Kita harus lebih
Our
aktif
community
berusaha
needs to be more
mengatasi
active,
keperluan sosial kita
mobilizing
dan
ourselves to address social
satu
needs
sama lain.
and help one another.
Perubahan dasar ini juga diterapkan
These
dalam
shifts
usaha
apply
untuk
also to our
meningkatkan
efforts
masyarakat
to uplift
Malay-Muslim.
the Malay-Muslim community.
Pemerintah akan tambah usaha
The
untuk
government
memperbaiki
will be doing
kehidupan
more to improve
semua rakyat
every
Singapura,
Singaporean's lives,
khususnya melalui perumahan,
especially through
penjagaan
housing,
kesihatan, dan
healthcare,
pendidikan.
and education.
Kita mahu baiki kehidupan
We want to
keluarga besar.
uplift low-income
Setiap anak
households.
harus ada peluang baik
Every child
untuk mulakan
should have
hidup
a good
mereka.
start in life,
Tidak kira latar
regardless
belakang
of his
mereka.
family background.
Dasar-dasar ini adalah
These
untuk semua
policies
masyarakat.
are meant for
Tetapi
all
ada
communities,
banyak faedah untuk masyarakat
but the Malay-Muslim
Islam.
community should benefit greatly from
Dasar-dasar
them.
kita ini akan membantu
Our
tingkatkan
policies
mobility sosial
will help to
masyarakat
increase
Melayu
social
dan
mobility
membolehkan
and break
golongan susah
the cycle
keluar
of
dari
poverty
lingkaran kemiskinan.
in one part of the community.
Masyarakat Melayu Islam adalah contoh baik
The Malay-Muslim
bagaimana
community
sebuah masyarakat
is a
yang
good
aktif
example
boleh
of
berjaya
what an active
mencapai
community
sesuatu.
can achieve.
Badan-badan Melayu Islam misalnya sedang
Malay-Muslim
giat mengatasi
organizations
keperluan socio-ekonomi
are
masyarakat.
actively addressing the community's socio-economic needs. The Communities Leaders Forum, or CLF, has partnered the MMOs to deliver effective
Satu
programs.
contoh ialah rangkaian
One
keluarga
example
akrab
is the Family Excellence Circles that support low-income families and their children to move up in life.
Gambar ini menunjukkan
This slide
para
shows
peserta
the participants
program ini sedang
of this
belajar
program
tentang tumbuh-tumbuhan
bonding as families and
sambil
learning
berkumpul di
about
kawasan keluarga
plants
di Taman Pasir
at
Ris
Pasir Ris
semasa
Park
Hari Bumi.
on Earth Day.
Saya galakkan Anda supaya
I
gandakan
encourage you to do
usaha
more
dan manfaatkan
and make
sepenuhnya.
better use of the support from the government.
Capailah hasil maksimum dengan menggunakan CLF.
Work through the CLF and other existing platforms to maximize your
Tetapi
impact
hati-hati.
instead of diluting your efforts. But be careful not to let competition turn unhealthy
Dan jangan biarkan semangat
and do not allow
menimbulkan
activism to
politik
result
berdasarkan kaum.
in race-based politics.
Saya yakin
I am
masyarakat
confident
Islam komited terhadap
the Malay-Muslim
dasar
community
kaum
is
dan
committed
demokrasi
to a
Singapura.
Singapore anchored
Saya
on
juga
multiracialism
galakkan
and
Anda
meritocracy.
tumpukan perhatian
I also
kepada
encourage you
banyak
to
perkara
concentrate
yang
on the
boleh
many
anda
things that
lakukan
you can do to
untuk
make a difference
perbaiki
to your
kebajikan
community's
masyarakat.
well-being.
Yang penting
What
kita
is
lakukan
important?
yang terbaik untuk atasi
We
sesuatu
do
masalah.
the best
Bukan
to
bertolak
overcome a particular
sama
problem
ada masalah itu masalah sesuatu kaum atau masalah nasional.
and not to ponder whether it's a community problem or a national problem.
Pemerintah akan sokong sepenuhnya
I would like to
usaha
assure you that the
dengan
government
sumber-sumber
will fully
dan
support your
tenaga.
efforts with resources and expertise.
Salah satu isu ialah tentang sumbangan pemerintah
One issue is the government's contributions to students' EduSave accounts. Currently, only students in national schools get the EduSave account and contributions. We had reasons for this. But children outside these schools feel left out, including those studying in madrasas. This is a long-standing issue. Malay PAP MPs have raised this with me over many years.
Mereka telah kemukakan perkara ini kepada saya. Kami telah semak semula isu ini.
We have reconsidered this policy and we have decided to change it.
Kami akan meluaskan akaun dan sumbangan
We will extend EduSave accounts and contributions to all students of school-going age, whether they attend madrasas, study abroad, or are homeschooled. This is a signal that we value every child and will help build a sense of solidarity amongst the next generation.
Walaupun pemerintah dan masyarakat akan gandakan usaha.
Even though the government and community will do more, individuals must still give their best. Some Singaporeans worry whether we can hold our own against a growing competition. Quite a few Malays feel like this too. There are many more Malay PMEs now, but many of them are only just establishing themselves. At the same time, there are still many less educated Malay workers who worry about competition from foreign workers. But I am confident that we can succeed. Instead of worrying, we should take advantage of existing training opportunities, upgrade ourselves, and meet the competition head-on. This is the fighting spirit that we must instill in the community. So far, Malay Singaporeans have made significant progress over the years. Your household incomes are rising and education levels are improving. The Malays are excelling in many fields. There are stories of successful Malays in the mass media almost daily. One example is Dr. Rufaiha Abdul Jalil, Senior Research Fellow at the Yong Lulin Medical School in NUS. She did her postdoctorate research in stem cells and vascular biology at Stanford Medical School in America. Now Rufaiha volunteers actively. She is also a member of the Muslim Council. She also enjoys spending time with children and mentoring them. She brings them to the lab and teaches them how to use the equipment in the lab. Another example of successful Malays in other fields is percussionist Muhammad Ridwan Zalani, a Singapore Youth Award winner. Ridwan has brought the rhythm of kompang and other Malay percussions to countries like France, Australia, and the US. I met him when he performed at a Mendaki's dinner event. I found his talent outstanding. I watched his videos on YouTube. They are full of fun and energy. Let's watch an excerpt.
Ini bukan kembar tiga.
These
tapi
are
inilah
not triplets,
persembahan tiga dalam
but a
satu
3-in-1 performance by Ridwan.
Bagus kan?
Amazing, isn't it?
Rufaiha dan Ridwan berjaya.
Rufaiha and Ridwan
meritokrasi
have done well in our
dan
system of
membuktikan
meritocracy,
bahwa tiada yang
and they have
mustahil.
shown that nothing is impossible.
Saatnya, teruskan usaha baik
Congratulations and keep it up.
Anda, saudara-saudari sekalian.
Ladies and
Masa
gentlemen,
depan kita berbeza
our
dari
future
masa
will
lalu.
be different from the past.
Masyarakat Melayu Islam juga
The
mesti
Malay-Muslim
berubah,
community
mengikut peredaran
must also
masa.
change with the times.
Anda telah buktikan
You have
Anda
shown
boleh
that you can do
melakukannya.
so,
Dan saya yakin
and I'm
Anda
confident
boleh terus
that you can
tingkatkan.
continue upgrading yourself.
Orang Melayu mampu buat sumbangan
You have
besar
many
kepada
contributions
masyarakat,
to make
ekonomi,
in our
dan
society,
negara kita.
economy,
Anda
and
berfungsi,
nation.
aspirasi.
You share the aspirations and concerns of other Singaporeans.
Marilah kita berganding bahu
Let us work
untuk
together
mencapai
to
matlamat
achieve
kita
our
bersama.
common goals.
Marilah kita bersatu padu.
Let us
untuk
join
membina
hands to
suatu
build
Singapura
a
yang
better
jauh lebih
Singapore
baik untuk
for-
kita semua. Terima kasih.
Let us join hands to build a better Singapore for us all.
各位同胞，大家晚上好。
My fellow citizens, good
多年
evening.
来，我都在
For many
大学
years,
校园举行国庆
We
军
have
训
had
大会
our National
今
Day
年我改
rally
换了地点
at
来
the
到位于
NUS
红帽桥
University
的
Cultural Center.
新的
This year, we've changed the
工艺教育
location
学院
to the IT College Central in Ang Mo Kio,
这
a
是一
new
所美丽
campus.
的校园。
I'm sure you agree that it's a beautiful campus, a good place for
对
study.
红帽桥来说，这座校园
As for Ang Mo Kio,
是锦上添花。
this campus is
因
a
为
beautiful
独立以前的红
addition.
帽桥
Before independence, Ang Mo
到
Kio
处都是菜园
was a rural
花园
area.
花物大
The
家
farms,
都在
plantations, and atap
居
huts
住环境
everywhere.
简陋。
Everyone lived in
什么设施可
kampongs.
言
The living conditions were
过了
poor,
半个世纪
and there were
红
no
帽桥已经
facilities.
成为一个现代化
After half a
富有朝
century,
气的
Ang Mo Kio has become a modern, vibrant,
它的设
and
施
elegant estate.
学校、民众俱乐部、
It has full
体育
range
学院
of
理工学院
amenities, schools,
应有
community centers, stadium,
居
polytechnics,
民
and
享有
others.
美轮美奂的高楼主
People enjoy
热闹
high-rise
的商场
flats,
景色宜人的
bustling
碧
malls,
山红帽桥
and the
公园
scenic
其实我
Bishan
们的
Ang Mo
意见
Kio
这个应该是
Park.
红帽桥。
In fact, in our view, it should be Ang Mo Kio Bishan Park.
许多家庭在这里居住
Many
了
families have lived here for
老邻
over
居
30
老街
years.
坊之间
Old
感情
neighbors
深厚
have become
温馨的社区。
a close, and
每
it's a
当我在
warm
这里走动
community.
都能看见很多
And
熟悉的
I
面孔。
see many familiar faces during my walkabout.
其中一位是在德意斯林
One
大
of
厦
them
卖菜的林
is
太太。
Mrs. Lim, who sells
林
vegetables
太
in
太
Block
经营这个摊位已经
409.
10多年了
She has
我每
managed
次
the
见到
store
她
for
她都笑容
more
满
than
面跟今晚
10 years. She's always smiling,
她有3个
just
孩
like
子
tonight.
其中2个
She
念
has
上大学
3
已经
children,
毕业了
and 2 of them have gone to university. One is a graduate.
这是她不小的成就。
This is
她的
a
生意不错
considerable
摊位
achievement.
总是摆得满满
Her
的。
business is good.
不过有时
The
摆
store
脱界
is always overflowing. But sometimes the goods are over the boundary, and she received a notice of fine from the town council. So when she met me, she asked me, please help me. So my reply is, I'll try hard, but I need to see if there are mitigating circumstances and hope that you will cooperate with the town council. And she said, I'll try my best. But business
其
is
实我为
tough.
太太一家感到非常
But I'm very happy for her whole family. I am happy that the children have done
一
well
代人之间整
and
个家庭的生活
life is
改善
good, and she need not worry about her basic
林
needs.
家的成功故
In one
事是许多
generation,
新加坡人
the lives have improved.
父母一代
The Lim stories are shared by many others. Our parents have scrimped and saved
能够接
to
受良好
save
的
to
教
give the
育，
children
能够
a
过
chance for
更
good
好的日子
education and better lives.
在很大的程度上，
To a large
这一代人
degree,
实现了这个愿望。
this generation has realized the
不
dream.
管是教育水平、经济条件，
Children, whether in terms of education levels, economic well-being, or life expectancy, all have gone up.
我们应该再接再厉，
We should continue to work hard so that the next generation can do better than us. We have accumulated sufficient resources to do this. We must have a new approach, a new strategy to improve. In the next stage of development, we will face greater competition. Globalization and new technology will bring about new and greater challenges. Other countries in the world face similar situations. In recent years, many developed countries have gone through difficult reforms, and they have been trying to look for new opportunities for growth. European countries are facing serious structural problems in the economy. Unemployment among the youth is high. Some of them exceeded 50%. In other words, many young people after graduation, more than half cannot find a job even after many years. It's a very serious problem. They have tightened the belts, restructured the economies, and have come through the most difficult phase. I believe that European countries will recover. The prospects for China are good, but there are multiple difficulties along the way ahead. There are more and more graduates each year. This year alone, there are 7 million new graduates, more than the population of Singapore. So we say we want to avoid competition with the foreigners. There is no way to escape. But this vast team of new graduates has brought problems to the Chinese government, and the government must try their best to create jobs for them, to look for suitable openings, to use their talents. Chinese leaders know that they must strengthen reforms and opening up in order to solve the problem. Fortunately, the youth in China have fighting spirit, and many among them are talented. In time, they will change China and change the world. And looking back at our Singapore, we have quite a good situation, but we must continue to work hard and learn from the experience of other countries and learn from their fighting spirit. In the process, we also encounter some problems. For example, in the SMEs, they are facing great difficulties. They try to raise their productivity and improve their standards to reduce the dependence on foreign workers. But they have limited resources and cannot do this on their own. They know what to do, but it's not easy. The SMEs are dependent on foreign workers. The biggest problem is the shortage of workers. Many bosses say that they have business, but they do not have enough workers. In fact, we have not reduced the number of foreign workers. What we have done is to slow down the inflow of foreign workers. Our economy is still growing, and the number of foreign workers is still rising. But the demand exceeds the supply, so businesses are affected. Government understands the difficulties and will try our best to help. However, we need to control foreign workers, otherwise it will lead to serious consequences. Government is now helping businesses to upgrade and restructure. In the budget this year, government has rolled out a 3-year transitional support package costing $5.3 billion to help businesses reduce costs and raise productivity. Spring, this target audience, it is SMEs. There are plenty of schemes. There are many of them. The problem is you may not know about them. MP Yeo Kwak Kwang is the chairman of the Foreign Workers Center. So he had a dialogue with the bosses of SMEs, discussing the problems faced by them in terms of finding enough workers. This dialogue was organized by the Shinmin Daily and the Bosses Network. They went on a cruise ship. As they enjoyed the breeze, they discussed this serious matter. And perhaps because of this, Gotong used very graphic terms to describe the dialogue. He used the titles of popular songs to describe the dialogue. So on the one hand, as the bosses talk about the problems, and on the other hand, the government explains its situation. Let me share with you. Gotong said, in terms of this problem, the bosses like to sing 3 songs. The first song, the past is but a memory. In the past used to be good. How is it different today? So the past is but a memory. The second song, I am a little bird. It's a very meaningful lyrics. I can't sing, but I'll read the lyrics. I'm a tiny little bird. I try to fly, but how high can I fly? I'm looking everywhere for a warm embrace. Is this really too much to ask for? What a pity. This is a song sung by the bosses, not by the government. The third song is a difficult one. It is the moon's fault. Gotong's version of the lyrics is unique. It's nobody's fault, but the moon's fault. And some people say it is the lightning's fault. These are songs sung by the bosses. Of course, the government has to sing. So we too have 3 songs. The first song, do you know I'm waiting for you? Second song, I'm by your side. The third, we have our third song too, the most important song. Will you still love me tomorrow? Jokes aside, the foreign worker issue is complex, and government cannot meet all the demands, and there's no perfect solution, but we'll definitely help SMEs find a way to make it. So, Teo Salak will interact with the bosses to understand the problems and hope to provide better assistance to them. Besides helping the enterprises, government is helping to reduce the cost of living to the people. Over the last few years, we've introduced several schemes to help them, mainly to help the lower income families. For example, GST vouchers to help with the cost of living, workfare to raise the wages of low-wage workers, and the CPF savings, special employment credit to support employers to hire older workers. These are long-term support schemes which are already institutionalized. So these are systematic measures. Every year, we help lower and middle-income earners to improve their lives. Through these measures, we have strengthened the safety net and protected their lives. These measures together represent the change in the direction. The government undertakes a new approach and a new mindset. Over the next few years, the government will follow this direction so that the policies will be closer to the people and will be in keeping with our changing social needs. After half a century's development, Singapore is at a turning point. Our goals have not changed. We want people to have good jobs and better lives, regardless of age group, whether the old, the middle-aged, or the young. But the approach and the concept, we have to adopt a new way, especially to find a new balance between the roles of the government, community, and the individual, to find a new point of equilibrium. The government will assume a greater burden, or the community would share a greater part of the burden, in the individual's burden. Let me give you an example to illustrate this new thinking. This is a scheme to help the elderly. Many seniors have difficulties in moving about. The government has set up a seniors mobility and enabling fund to subsidize equipment to help our seniors. For example, wheelchairs, old people's chairs, hearing aids, special reading glasses, mattresses, etc. From this photograph, you can see Mr. Gotong giving a shower chair to an elderly resident. So this is under the assistance of this Senior Mobility and Enabling Fund. Government's burden is increased and the individual's burden is reduced. This is a start, but we will do more in the future. At the same time, while government hopes that the community and the individual will do more to complement what the government is doing, we want to build a caring community with vitality and energy. We cannot depend on the government alone, but it is gratifying to note that Singaporeans do not lack the spirit of giving back and helping others. A good example is the Lions Food Distribution Project, founded by Mr. Lee Hsien Loong. Mr. Lee. 25 years ago, in 1988, started this to collect unsold vegetables and fruits from hawkers and business owners every week, and he delivered them to the charities. This was held weekly. At first, he was alone and met many difficulties, but he persevered and gradually had a response from many people who were moved by his acts, and many have joined in this act. For 25 years, he is now 85 years old, but he still goes down weekly to help. It is really admirable. I met Mr. Lee at a recent Lions Club anniversary dinner, so I'd like to express our thanks to him for his compassion and commitment. Striking this new balance between government, community, and the people is a macroeconomic adjustment. It cannot be done overnight. It needs the work and efforts of many departments gradually implementing this process. So we start with dealing with immediate issues, including education, health care, and housing. We want to reduce the risks for the people in their daily lives, especially relating to healthcare costs. I'll talk a little bit more in my English speech. We need to help those with less, the poor and needy, and to strengthen social cohesion. We have to ensure that society will not become divided between the rich and the poor. We have to think of ways to raise the income of the lower income groups. We'll help them buy the flats to help them have more savings and accumulate more assets. We need to keep our system open so that regardless of background, everyone can move up, especially through education. The limbs I mentioned are a good example. A good education has changed the potential and situation of the families. The children can look forward to better lives. The government will give more help to those from the needing families so that they will have a better starting point, so that they will not fall behind because of their circumstances. So last year, we decided to assist the preschool sector to give them more subsidies so that they will have good preschool education. I know preschool childcare places not sufficient to meet the demand. For example, in Sengkang and Punggol, in these new estates where there are many young families and many young children. And when both parents are working, the need for childcare center is great. The government is looking for a solution to this problem. Over the next 5 years, we will add 20,000 preschool places so that they will have time to look after and bring up the children. Besides helping the needing families, the government will also take special care of the elderly Singaporeans. These people were the pioneers of Singapore. Without their sacrifice and efforts, there will be no Singapore of today. It is our duty to look after them. I know many Singaporeans consider filial piety as the most important, and they look after the parents so that the parents will enjoy the warmth of their family. But not all seniors are so fortunate. When I visit the residents, I find there are more and more old people in the empty nests. Some old couples have only each other, looking after each other. Some live alone and have no family. Some have no children and no one to rely on. To better look after the elderly and to show them our appreciation, government will strengthen the social safety nets and reduce the worries. Their housing needs are taken care of. Most of these elderlies own their own flats and have already paid up their flats. The flats are their retirement nest egg. But what they are most worried about is medical costs. For that generation, their wages were low and the Medisave account's balance was limited. They are worried that with a major illness, they will not be able to pay for them, the medical costs. Government will help them and revamp healthcare system, setting up a special package for the elderly to lessen greatly their healthcare costs. Of course, this is something that everyone is concerned about. The new healthcare system will look after the others. So I urge everyone not to worry and to be anxious. We in Singapore will ensure that everyone will receive the treatment. Okay. What I've described above are the various measures we have adopted to deal with these problems. And we must also look at the future, continue to seek new opportunities for growth. Our forefathers have left us a strong foundation. Because of their efforts, we have a prosperous economy, harmonious society, and good infrastructure. There's a Chinese saying, forefathers planted a tree and descendants enjoy the shade. This is a deeply rooted belief. It is our turn now to create a better tomorrow and plant a tree for the future generations. We must invest in the future to give them the best chance. Our youth are optimistic about the future. We need to create more opportunities for them to achieve their potential. make Singapore a great home to live, work, play, and have families. We are determined, and we have the resources to achieve this end. Let me conclude this evening's speech. In terms of concept and approach, we have made important shifts, and we are looking at how to recraft social policies. Over the next few years, we will implement these policies to resolve the challenges so that people's lives will be better and better each year. Our goal is that everyone will benefit regardless of their background. To reach the goal, we need to take special care of those who are in difficult circumstances, especially the low-income groups and the elderly. And at the same time, we will work hard to give the younger generation a better future. Government will do its utmost, but we need your support and for your cooperation. And everyone can look forward to a better tomorrow. Because we will be there for you. Thank you.
The Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, has delivered his Malay and Mandarin speech. He will deliver his English speech at 8 p.m. Stay tuned.